Deep Rock Galactic Survivor is finally out of early access, and I haven't seen many people talking about it, so let's do that. I'm sure you know its older brother, Deep Rock Galactic. Hell, I know I do. It's a super addicting, super replayable, procedurally generated PvE, co-op, objective-based, FPS looter shooter. If you haven't heard of DRG Survivor, it's essentially a Survivor-type roguelike spin-off game.
But isn't Deep Rock Galactic already a roguelike?
Obviously, Survivor is closely based on the first game in many ways. Apart from being developed by a different studio, that being Fun Day Games, it's still published and funded by Ghost Ship Games, who are the original creators of Deep Rock Galactic. And as for the similarities, there's the 4 space mining dwarfs you play as, the many weapons you acquire over your runs, and the cave locations you visit. And gameplay wise, it's kind of similar with the loose connection of dropping in, mining rock and stone and getting back out, but also not so much. And as for differences, there's the overall gorgeous art style and a completely different gameplay loop, which you would expect, you know, being a different game and all. Now, because Survivor is both similar and different in a lot of ways, I don't want to just compare the two for a lot of this video, but yeah. Again, they're just so different, it's not even a problem. I've been playing the game since its early access release in February of 2024, putting in almost 40 hours during that time, and I've been looking forward to the full release ever since, because I like the game a lot, so I might know a thing or two about it. Firstly, gameplay. I don't want to fully go over the basic Survivor tropes and gimmicks. I don't know, go play Vampire Survivors or something. You drop into the level, kill enemies, pick up the XP they drop to level up, and beat the big boss at the end. With each level, you can select an upgrade to either a base stat or a weapon, and then you choose a new weapon at level 5, 15, and 25. And it's with each weapon where you can really fine-tune your builds. When selecting weapon upgrades, it also levels up each weapon, and progressing to certain weapon levels, you then select different overclocks, which can either give your weapon a big boost or just completely change it into something different. Then of course you have all sorts of different weapon types. Other than classic guns, which all do different things, there's beam weapons that swivel around you, constructs such as drones and turrets, throwables, and every type just provides so much variety and possibilities for your builds. And that's not even talking about different elemental effects like kinetic, electricity, plasma, fire, so on and so forth. Already, the number of possibilities with the weapon combos and even different overclocks that you can equip adds so much versatility to every run you play. But oh no, strap in, because this is just the tip of the iceberg. Bringing it back to the basics, as mentioned before, you have the 4 dwarfs that you can play as: Scout, Gunner, Engineer, and Driller. But in Survivor, each dwarf has 3 of their own subclasses, which unlock specific weapon types and gives their own little passive boosts. Like the Recon class for Scout, giving you extra dodge chance and boosts your move and reload speed after dodging an attack. Or Engineer's Maintenance Worker class, allowing you to use construct weapons, along with a cheeky little damage and reload boost for them. Or Driller's Strong Armed class, which lets you use throwable weapons and much more. Also, each class mod has their own little skin, which is pretty cool. Then we have the 5 different cave locations, as of right now at least: Crystalline Cavern, Magma Core, Hollow Bow, Salt Pits, and Azure World. And each one has little changes and additions that make them unique to play. Like in Magma Core, you need to look out for lava, Hollow Bow with the regenerating red vines, Salt Pits rocks are easier to mine along with having stalagmite clusters, and Azure World, which doesn't spawn red sugar, which you need to heal with, but you can heal by standing around these glowing purple rocks. And yeah, I know I've been all yap so far, but there's a crazy amount of content with each class, weapon, map, and mission type. In early access, there was only the elimination mission, where each level you would fight an elite before fighting the big bad dreadnought at the very end. But with the 1.0 release, they added a completely new mode with escort duty, where you need to escort a drill dozer until reaching the Omoran Heartstone at the end. And I mean, It ain't no Doretta, but it works. Actually, let's talk about the differences between early access and now its full release. While we've gotten a bunch of updates over the year and a half of the game being in early access, here I'm just going to talk about the latest version just before full release. The biggest difference is easily the mission formats. Before, you would pick your map, pick your hazard difficulty, and complete the different challenges each run had with them. And with this system, you would unlock higher hazards with the more objectives you completed. But in 1.0, it's actually the exact same system, but it just looks entirely different. Now, before you progress to the next hazard, you must pass each gate, which really just acts as a cock block. But after playing in early access for so long, I'm still not yet used to this new type of hunky-dory system, but I do like it better this way. But other than all the little additions, another big thing is the gear. Throughout your runs, you can have the chance of picking up different types of gear that you can equip to each class to provide little stat buffs. You have 6 different slots to equip them in depending on their type, and they all have different rarities and different effects. And I'm not sure if it's random for every item, but every single one have completely different stats, so they must just be given at random. Now, they don't completely change the game whatsoever, but it's just another way to min-max your gameplay and properly reward those who play on higher difficulties and put some real hours into the game. But that's it really for the main gameplay loop and what the game's all about, but there's still so much more in this game. Masteries are this game's implementation of meta progression, where you can earn boost for weapons, classes, and biomes by completing different challenges. All it really is just an extra way of grinding to have an easier time in your regular missions. You pick a hazard level, complete your run, and depending on which hazard level you play, determines the mastery bonus you get. For weapon mastery, you're only given that one specific weapon. For classes, you just play as that class. And biomes are my favorite because you need to go through 10 waves instead of the regular 3 or 5, which means that by the end of it, your builds are basically breaking the game at that point. But if you're getting tired of the normal game and grinding out all your weapon masteries, you can do a whole heap of challenge runs with anomalies, such as one where you don't earn any XP from enemies, only from objectives, and one where you aren't even allowed to move. And then there are daily Vanguard contracts with a couple of both positive and negative mutators, along with weekly lethal operations, but I haven't unlocked that one yet. And I haven't even gotten into the upgrades you can spend your minerals on and all of the achievements in the game. There's just a crazy amount of content with hundreds of hours of replayability. If survivor type games are your thing, this one I would highly recommend checking out, especially if you're a fan of Deep Rock Galactic. Again, there's a mind-blowing amount of stuff and endless creativity and potential for each run. And I've been wanting to make a video on this game for ages, so with its full release out now and plenty more content in store to come, there's no better time. Like and subscribe. I was hoping to have this video out a couple of days after its release, but I've taken a couple of rest days and I've been grinding the new skate game, so expect a video on that soon. But other than that,